Hey guys, welcome back to Style Reviews. We've got a really anticipated one here. It's PerfectEffect's PE-DX09 Mega Doragon. So of course this is Transmetal's 2 Megatron, and he measures to be... Alright, from my standpoint to the tip of that helmet, it looks like 10¼ inches tall. Trying to look at it through the viewfinder here, and I'm also kind of seeing 10¼ inches. I'll get an exact one when I review the tape. But yeah, you can see he's really tall, right around the height of their Beast Gorilla. A lot taller than Origin Leonidas. And overall, you know, I will say in advance, the fit and finish of this is really where I have a lot of problems with it. So if I come off cynical during this review, you know, I'm not going to apologize, but I'm telling you in advance that I'm not the biggest fan of this one because of the construction of it. Beautiful piece, but just really this line in general, full of floppy joints and stuff like that, and just literally that's Leonidas right there. So, you know, and Gorilla, a lot of the same. I could literally just take it in. It'll just start spinning around. It's effing crazy. So there's really poor constructions on these guys, but let's go ahead, take a look at the accessories, and really dig into this one because I think there are some things that you guys as consumers are really going to want to see. Alright, one more time. Taking a measurement of Mr. Doragon. And alright, now he's looking to be around 10 inches tall. And again, you guys see what the ruler says a lot better than me. So I just had a quarter variance between two measurements. Alright, and just beautiful, like the wings and things like that. It's all just really pretty, clear plastics used and all that good stuff. Alright, and he does come with two faces, which we'll go over in the review too. He has the option right here, his shield can extend, and then you can flip out a dagger. And just so I don't forget, I'm going to pull the face out of there as well. We'll actually keep the little dagger out so you guys can see that. And since this is also his head and transformation, or his neck when you transform it, you can cover his arm with the dragon, and that has the ability to open. Its mouth, there's a blaster inside of there. And I do love that they didn't just keep that as a permanent dragon head or anything like that. That would have stunk. So it's cool that he has two hands. The only thing that I wish from that perspective is that this was at least removable. The shield too, but the shield isn't as intrusive as that big dragon cannon right there, but it's not bad. It's not bad. All right, so looking at the articulation here, and just so you guys know, the joints in this guy are very weak. I've done all that I can in terms of tightening screws. I have disassembled this thing and tried to tighten joints with nail polish and things like that, but it still will just buckle and things like that. So if you see it standing, all of a sudden it rocks back and you hear a click, that's one of the joints just, it's what it does. It doesn't have the best balance in the first place with the big wings and stuff like that, but just in general, the joints aren't made strong enough. They should have been better constructed and better supported. So the head, not really downward movement, but plenty of upward. And it does 360, but he has that giant tail in the back, so you kind of gotta, if you want some extended sideways movement, work that around and things. All right, so the shoulder pads do have some movement there, and you could actually bring the shoulders up and down, and they do a full 360. Decent ratchets. Holds up his arm, and this just fine. Same with the outward swing. if the hips worked as well as these shoulder ratchets do, I'd have a lot less of a problem with that, but yeah, this one's just tough. All right, elbow joint, 90 degrees, single joint. And these pieces, I have no idea why. They feel like they fit in tight, but then they fall out easily. So I don't know if there's just too much pressure in there and air kind of gets it, but you'll see they randomly just kind of pop out. It's so weird, even though they fit in really tight with friction. All right, wrist swivel, full 360. And he does have articulated fingers as well. The pointer finger is separately articulated than the other three, and the thumb just has a swivel, so no joints or anything like that to it. All right. The waist can rotate 360. Pretty tight on mine, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. You just hear the creak in there. Now, what's really cool is that he does have ab crunch, and it kind of clicks into place, but it doesn't. And you can see with the wings on especially, it just kind of falls back, right back to where it was. So just weak stuff. All right, so these back shoulder skirts do move, as well as the front pieces, they rotate. We'll rotate those so we can show off some of the decent amount of front swing, not a lot of back swing. And this piece just fell off again because, all right. Sideways, the ratchets aren't too bad. They stay just fine. The knees, ratcheted knee joints. And there is a separate one for the calf. That's for the transformation into the dragon mode. And he does have decent ankle tilt, but just make sure you're rotating it all the way. There were times where I didn't feel like there was enough ankle tilt. There actually is, it's just a really tight joint, so make sure. I don't know if that'll smoothen out after a while of playing with it, but as for right now, it's tight, and just be aware that he has a lot. You just gotta force it in there. All right. The wings, they expand quite a bit. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4 blades, and then these swords up here count as part of the wing as well. All right. All right, the wings expand. And then on the back, it has another swivel back here. And this is one that I need to tighten the screw on. And they also can go in and out like so. But once you start to bring them back, that's when it gets really back heavy. You see there? So best to keep those forward. And because of his hip ratchets, it's really hard to just get them in a plain straight up stance. You guys know I like all that pelvic thrust stuff and all that. It's just out of the question for this toy. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but geez, not a lot of options here. So he's got all of the articulation in the world built in. The joints are just so weak though that you can't really do much with them. All right, so let's take a look at the swords. And you can grip them, but it does have a peg that pegs to the inside of the hand as well. And I'm not going to get into anything too crazy with the posing on this guy. The joints are just crap. And you see right there, like, they're wanting to ratchet back and stuff. But you can balance on the tail back there and things. And there's some things that can help. I'll just peg on this side because that's the side you guys see. And I mean, the presentation is amazing. So we'll go up. There's not much zooming in I can do. Expand that even more. And it's unfortunate that it's such a beautiful piece to where if you don't really have it in an A stance, there you risk it toppling over. But there you go. Alright, now we're just going to take a look at the face changing gimmick. It comes with 2 faces. So here's the first, just a stoic face. So you guys can see how that looks. And to change it out, it's as simple as taking up the mask. I go a little bit of a chin up, and then you can start kind of prying this guy off. Just holds with friction. And then put the other face on. Make sure we focus here. Alright, smile wide. There we go. Alright, and here's the dragon mode. Honestly, it's the most impressive mode to me by a country mile. So even though his legs are bent, he is about 14 and a half, almost 14 and 3/4 inches tall. I mean, his wingspan is his wingspan, same as Megatron. But when you add the two together, he is just gigantic. This thing is huge. And it's pretty too. So giving you guys a roundabout here. It's crazy. Out of all the bots that I've reviewed, this is the first one where I've really had to like make space to even give it a roundabout. It's crazy. So, even on his legs here, so he doesn't come off tilted or anything like that. Overall, the transformation, it's one of those ones where you definitely have to look at the instructions. It takes you through step by step, but there were some confusing parts for me, and that's why I'll do a separate transformation video for this guy. But, I mean, once you have him together, he's together. I have a problem. This doesn't want to tab in like it's supposed to. It doesn't look bad. And I don't even know if you guys can see the space on camera, but this is supposed to tab in, and I don't know if it's supposed to click in or anything like that. Mine does not. So that piece untapped right there. But overall, I mean, it's a good solid hold and fit, and I really don't have any problems with this mode at all. Even photographing it and stuff like that, it's just charming. It's a really good looking, charismatic piece. Like, God. Alright, so in terms of posability, none on the lower neck, just so you guys know. Upper neck, got a couple of ball joints here. That's my bad, I just popped that off. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3 levels of articulation. The arms on ball joints. Does have bicep swivel. Lots of elbow bend there. The hips, of course. And the legs. Multiple points of articulation there. Just for balance's sake. Same ankle tilt as the robot mode. Some foot movement there. Alright, so, I mean, realistically, it's pretty hard to balance this guy. You can tilt the legs back some, mess with the legs, but overall, he's just not very balanced when he's not upright. But if you get him there, and I mean, when you guys have him at home, you can do what you want with him. But for the sake of not knocking this guy down, that's about as far down as I'm going to go with him. Or raise the camera even higher. You guys can see. And he's just a big, wide boy. Look at that. In fact, let me get a measurement. And the tail's bent, so I mean, I'll strain that out some. I'm seeing ballparking around 27 inches long. That's incredible. And his mouth does have articulation there. Before it whips Leonidas over there. But yeah, overall, I think this is just lovely. I'm not big on displaying my transformers in alt mode, but this one, man, if I could find space for it amongst everything, it'd be well worth it. And I think I might do just that. But close it out with this guy, mouth open. I do wish the ball joints in general were more tight. That's another one of those just QC areas to where I don't understand why that wasn't caught and fixed, but it wasn't. But it's not something that nail polish can't take care of, so all hope isn't lost. But there we go, that's the Dragon mode. Alright, and it does retain its big, huge Land Cruiser mode. It's hard to even give you guys a roundabout of this guy because it is long. Let's see. Yeah. And it balances, but man. Let's see if taking it off of this guy does the trick. But yeah, it's big, it's long, and it's hard to balance. Which aren't necessarily bad things in and of themselves. There we go. But in terms of recording this review, it's not really fun. So realistically, is this something you can display in a DTOF? No, but it looks fucking awesome. I know there are some people, even on the message boards I've seen, that are kind of like, what's the point of this mode, blah, blah, blah. I love it. I really do. It just looks cool. Dragon mode is my favorite, but I would say it's a tie between this and the robot mode for second. And the back wheels do turn. The front wheels don't. But you can roll it, and yeah, I mean, it's what it is. It's a cruiser mode that looks really good in my opinion. So again, this has been the NeoArt Toys, or NeoArt, geez, PerfectEffect DX09 Mega Doragon. You can buy yours, TF Source, The Chosen Prime, wherever you buy third-party Transformers from. Overall, I would say this is a solid 5 to 6 out of 10. Beautiful, beautiful toy, great presentation, and you know, the engineering to it is fun. It's just a QC nightmare, man. There should have been a lot more testing and fixing and things like that went into this, but it seems like this was just one of those ones that was rendered up, put into production, and then sent out without anybody actually testing things, seeing how things fit, you know, seeing how things balance out, this and that. There's a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda, and it, you know, it just doesn't meet the mark, especially for something towards $200, man. You know, you're really gearing into like Bandai Soul of Chigoken high-end price in there, to where this is not as nice as stuff like the Makes Toys Cross Dimension in terms of build and things like that. Great looking, will look fine on a shelf in a basic pose. Just put a stand under it or something like that to make sure that it doesn't topple and break all your other shit along with it. But anyway, this has been another Kumastyle review. Check out the full written review as well as the gallery on kumastyle.com. As for this review, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.